Okay, a recent survey found more than 80% of millennials regret buying their own home. The most common regret, the impact of high interest rates.
Yeah, that doesn't mean you have to put off buying a home, though. You can become a homeowner without making the same mistakes. Matthew Bizzarro, CEO of the Bizzarro Agency, joining us now to show us how to avoid homeowner or home buyer regret. Thanks so much for being back with us.
Oh, it's awesome to be here. Happy spring.
All right, so look, for most of us, the home is the most expensive thing we'll ever buy in our lives. And the idea that you could make this huge purchase and have regrets, it's kind of scary, Matthew.
It absolutely, it can freak people out, right? Because like you said, buying a home is the most complex and most likely most expensive purchase you'll ever make in your life. And when everything, even if it goes perfectly, when that human nature kicks in, the nerves can cause that momentary regret about making such a large purchase. And if you make any mistakes, that regret pours on.
Oh boy.
All right, let's talk about some of the regrets. Why are people regretting buying their first home?
So there's a lot of regrets. I think the first and most common regret that we're seeing now is that homebuyers discover their home is in an inconvenient location after they move in. It's important to do a lot of research before you make an offer on a property. Go to the property, explore the area. Many clients don't think about questions like, how long does it take to get to the train? How often, where's the grocery store? Where's the bus stop? If the commute is a concern, I often tell my clients to go to the neighborhood in the morning and do the commute to their office from there. You want to learn what living is like before you close the deal.
Oh, it makes sense. All right, because a lot of folks, I'm sure, don't do that. And then there are people, and it blows my mind, but I know during COVID, people weren't necessarily going out as much and seeing open houses and whatnot, but there are people that bought homes sight unseen, which, again, it seems crazy to me.
It is. That was a trend for a long time. That trend has slowed down substantially, obviously. But sometimes it's just not physically possible to see the home before you have to make an offer. But this is the 21st century. Every listing at my agency has a virtual property tour. And even if you can't make it out to the home, you can still tour it virtually. So you want to make sure your agent is helping you see the home, even if you can't physically be there. Because honestly, buying a home completely sight unseen now is just not necessary.
All right, what's a common cause of regret that people experience after they have already moved in?
Yeah, so the most common one I see here is someone who buys a fixer-upper. They think it's a good idea, but they don't always understand the amount of work and expense catches people off guard. So more often than you think, buyers will watch remodeling shows on TV and think it looks easy enough to do themselves, right?
Yeah.
They don't realize you have to
knock out a wall
permits.
here, add this thing here. I mean, it's all on TV. I've seen it.
It's simple.
The guy gets a sledgehammer and boom, knock out this wall.
It's all done in 2 days. Isn't that amazing, honey? It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
We can do that. Most of the time it's completely wrong, and you don't realize you got to get permits. You got to do all the work to code. You have to supervise your contractors, make sure they're doing everything properly or doing anything at all, right? And sometimes if you do the work yourself, you can find hidden problems. For example, you can open up a wall and find mold or rotting pipes, things you didn't think about. And so what seems like a simple fix could unfold things that $4,000 renovation project now becomes a $20,000 project.
I mean, it's really just a lot to think about as you are embarking on this process of being a homeowner, right? So you just really have to have an honest discussion with
I'm
yourself.
just sweating in this conversation. It's like,
You got a lot of
gosh.
projects at home to do, Corey.
Apparently,
All right. Matthew, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Have a great day.
All right.
Food for thought.
Oh my gosh. All right.